The stars outside the window of the transport ship looked like silent sparks in an endless sea. Dr. Aaron sat alone in the small cabin, reading the mission files again and again. His eyes were tired, but his mind refused to rest. He was not a soldier or an explorer. He was a doctor, born on a quiet Earth colony where healing meant everything. He had saved miners from radiation sickness, soldiers from plasma burns, and even a few alien patients when human medicine was needed in border regions. But this mission was different. The message had come directly from the Galactic Union Council. The request was strange and full of urgency. The Empress of the Valar Dominion was dying. No alien doctor could find the cause of her illness, and the Empress herself had asked for a human physician. It made no sense. Humans were considered less advanced in medicine compared to the great alien races. Yet for reasons no one could explain, the Empress demanded him. Aaron had not refused. He believed that every life mattered, and if his hands could help, then he would go wherever duty called. But as the stars grew larger and the ship neared its destination, doubt began to whisper in his mind. The Valar were proud and powerful. Their empire stretched across hundreds of worlds. What could one human doctor do among them? When the ship entered the orbit of Valar Prime, Aaron saw a sight that took his breath away. The planet was a world of light and color. Cities glowed like gems beneath a pair of golden suns. The atmosphere shimmered, alive with energy currents that danced through the air. His transport descended toward a shining capital that floated above clouds supported by fields of gravity that rippled with blue light. He stepped out onto the landing platform. Waiting for him were tall guards clad in silver armor, their faces hidden by mirrored masks. One of them stepped forward, voice deep and sharp. "Dr. Aaron of Earth, you will come with us. The Empress awaits your service." Aaron nodded. He carried only his medical case and a small device that held his personal notes. The guards moved with precise steps, leading him through bright corridors that pulsed like veins of light. The air smelled of strange flowers and clean energy. Every wall was engraved with symbols that shimmered faintly as they passed. Finally, they entered a vast hall filled with golden pillars. At the far end stood a tall figure wearing a robe of living light. She was not the Empress, but her advisor. The woman's eyes glowed faintly blue as she studied Aaron. "You are smaller than I imagine," she said in a calm voice. "Our Empress believes you can heal her. The Council disagrees. Many believe this is a mistake. But the Empress's will is absolute. I am here to help," Aaron said simply. "I need access to her medical data and a place to examine her. I will do my best." The advisor tilted her head slightly, surprised by his calm tone. "You will speak with respect and obey all commands. The Empress is sacred to our people. Her illness is considered a divine burden, not a simple disease. You will treat her with honor." Aaron bowed slightly. "I understand." Moments later, the great doors behind her opened. A soft golden light filled the hall. The guards bowed and the advisor lowered her gaze. Aaron looked up and saw her. The Empress Leora entered, her presence radiant and almost unreal. Her skin glowed like starlight caught in motion, and her hair flowed like silver mist. But behind her beauty, Aaron saw something deeper. Her steps were slow, her breath faint, and her eyes held a quiet pain that no crown could hide. When she reached him, she smiled weakly. "You are the human doctor," she said, her voice soft but strong. "Thank you for coming across the stars." Aaron bowed again. "It is an honor, Your Majesty. I am here to help you if I can." She studied him carefully, as if trying to read something invisible in his face. "You are not like the others. You do not tremble before power. That is good. I have waited for someone who does not see me as untouchable." Her words confused him, but before he could speak, she motioned for him to follow. They walked together through the quiet garden that surrounded her chamber. Strange plants shimmered under the suns, releasing soft light and fragrance. She sat near a pool of silver water and gestured for him to begin his work. Aaron activated his scanner and began the examination. Her pulse was irregular, her energy field unstable. He compared her readings to the medical records he had been given, but nothing matched. The Valar anatomy was complex, woven with energy flows instead of simple blood vessels. Yet his instruments showed something remarkable. Her life force was not fading naturally. It was being drained, as if something inside her was pulling the energy away. He asked permission to study her environment. The Empress agreed, watching him with quiet curiosity. As he moved about the chamber scanning for toxins or radiation, she spoke again. "My healers have tried for years," she said. "They could not find what was wrong. They said my soul was withering because of an old curse. But I do not believe in curses. I believe in truth. Aaron looked at her. Curses do not exist, Majesty. There is always a reason. I will find it. She smiled faintly. Your confidence gives me peace. He worked for hours, taking readings, studying the energy flow of her body, and checking the resonance of her environment. The Valar healers watched silently, some with curiosity, others with quiet disapproval. They did not trust the human, but they dared not defy the Empress. As the suns began to set, the palace lights dimmed into soft gold. Aaron finished his first session and turned to her. Your Majesty, I need to analyze this data further. But I believe your condition is not physical. It is something deeper, maybe related to your energy connection. The Empress nodded slowly. I feel it too. It is as if a part of me has been missing for a long time. He hesitated, unsure if he should speak further. May I ask, did something happen before this illness began? Her eyes grew distant. My bondmate died many years ago. Our kind share an energy connection that joins two souls as one. When he fell, I felt the void open inside me. Since then, the light within has dimmed little by little. No one could restore it. They said it was the price of love lost. Aaron was silent for a moment. He had read about the Valar bond, but never seen it. It was said to be eternal, something humans could not fully understand. Yet the way she spoke, the pain behind her calm tone, was something deeply human. I am sorry for your loss, he said softly. She gave a small nod. You speak like one who has seen sorrow. That is why I asked for you, Doctor. I do not want a healer who sees me as divine. I want one who sees me as living. That night, Aaron stayed in the palace quarters given to him. He could not sleep. The data he had gathered made little sense. The energy loss was not random. It pulsed in rhythm, almost like a heartbeat calling for something that was missing. He thought of her words, of the bond that had broken long ago. Could her body be searching for that lost connection? The science of it seemed impossible, yet the pattern was clear. In the morning, he met the royal advisor again. She frowned at his request to continue treatment. You have been here only one day and already claim to understand her condition. Our healers spent decades and failed. Do not think your human logic can grasp what we call sacred. I do not claim to know everything, Aaron replied calmly, but I see signs that no one noticed. Her energy rhythm is calling for balance. If we do nothing, her strength will fade completely. The advisor hesitated. There was firmness in his tone that made her pause. Finally, she nodded. The Empress trusts you. For that reason, you may continue. But remember this, human. If you harm her, your world will pay the price. Aaron met her gaze without fear. I will heal her. When he returned to the Empress, she was standing near the window watching the twin suns rise. The golden light touched her face, and for a moment she looked like the heart of a star. She turned and smiled gently. You came back, she said. I said I would help, he replied. Something passed between them, quiet but strong. It was not romance, not yet friendship, but a connection made of understanding. He was human, fragile, and mortal. She was an empress of light and power. Yet in that silent moment both felt the same thing, a small spark of hope. The first day of healing had begun, but neither of them knew that their fates had already started to weave together in ways no one could imagine. The first morning of treatment began with silence. The palace corridors shimmered with soft light as Dr. Aaron walked toward the Empress's chamber. He carried his small case of instruments and a datapad filled with readings from the previous night. His steps echoed faintly against the marble floor, and each echo reminded him that he was alone among a race far beyond his own. Still, his purpose gave him strength. He was here to heal. 2 guards opened the large golden doors for him. Inside, the chamber glowed with gentle light from floating crystals. The air smelled like spring water mixed with warmth from the rising suns. The Empress sat near the wide window, surrounded by flowers that grew in patterns of light. When she saw him, she smiled softly. Good morning, Dr. Aaron. Did you rest well? He bowed slightly. I rested enough, Your Majesty. I reviewed your readings again. I believe I understand a part of what is happening to you. She looked curious. Tell me. Aaron opened his datapad and projected the image of her energy field. The holographic light shimmered in the air, showing waves and patterns that pulsed like a living heartbeat. This is your energy rhythm, he explained. It should move in harmony through your body. But here, he pointed to a fading section, The flow weakens as if it cannot find its path. Something is missing from this pattern. The Empress studied the image closely. And you believe this is the cause of my weakness? Yes, he said. It looks like your life force is incomplete. It tries to repair itself but fails each time. The result is exhaustion and decay. It is like a song missing its final note. She looked thoughtful. No one else noticed this. Why could they not see it? Aaron hesitated. Maybe because they believed it was a curse. They looked for something mystical, not biological. But to me, every energy has structure, and structure can be studied. The question is what caused this loss. The Empress stood and walked to the pool at the center of the room. Her reflection shimmered across the silver water. You said it is like something missing. What if it is not a disease but an absence of balance? He nodded slowly. It could be that. The loss of your bondmate may have disrupted the natural flow. When two beings are connected through energy, their patterns strengthen each other. When one is gone, the other system collapses slowly. I have read about the Velar bond before but never studied it closely. Her voice became soft. The bond is not just emotion. It is life itself. It joins the essence of two souls. When mine was broken, I felt something tear inside. The healers tried to restore it, but no ritual worked. They said my connection had chosen death. Aaron listened carefully. If the bond carries energy between two lives, then losing it might be similar to losing part of your own system. Your body is trying to reach for that lost link but cannot find it. The Empress turned to him with a quiet sadness in her eyes. Can it be repaired? He took a breath. I am not sure, but I believe there might be a way to create a substitute connection, not emotional but energetic. If I can find the right frequency, it might balance the missing flow. Her eyes brightened slightly. You think you can do what the Velar healers could not? I can try, he said. Sometimes being from outside your system helps. I see things differently, the Empress smiled faintly. Then let us begin. Aaron began his work by connecting small sensors along her arms and shoulders. They measured the smallest fluctuations in her energy field. The Empress remained calm, watching him with quiet interest. Her light shimmered gently and her voice was steady. Doctor, you seem calm even among strangers. Does nothing make you afraid? I am afraid often, he said honestly. But fear can be useful if it pushes us to act carefully. My work is about balance between reason and emotion. She studied his face. Humans are strange. You live short lives but speak with such patience. He smiled slightly. Maybe that is why we try harder to make our time matter. As he adjusted the readings, the pattern began to change. The crystals around them responded to the shift in energy. A low hum filled the room and a soft blue glow wrapped around the Empress. Her expression changed slightly. What do you feel? He asked. Warmth, she said, and something else. It feels like light moving inside my chest. Aaron checked the scanner. The weak pulse in her energy rhythm was strengthening. The flow was not stable yet, but it was responding. It is working, he said quietly. Your energy is reacting to mine. Maybe the balance requires an external rhythm to align. She looked at him, her eyes bright with wonder. Then your energy can connect with mine. He hesitated. Only temporarily. I can match the frequency to stimulate recovery, but the connection should not last long. It might strain both of us, the Empress nodded. Do what you must. He focused on the readings, guiding the energy waves to flow in sync. The process took hours. Sweat ran down his forehead as he maintained control. The Empress sat still, her eyes closed, her breathing steady. The crystals brightened until the room felt like the inside of a star. When he finally turned off the scanner, the light faded and silence returned. The Empress opened her eyes slowly. Her face looked brighter, her posture stronger. How do you feel? He asked. I feel lighter, she said. The pain that was always behind my heart has faded. It feels as if a part of me has returned. Aaron smiled. That is a good sign. We will continue this treatment until your rhythm stabilizes completely. But before he could record his results, the door opened sharply. The royal advisor entered, her face filled with suspicion. What are you doing, human? She demanded. The energy levels in the palace changed. The council believes you are tampering with forces you cannot control. Aaron stood calmly. I am performing a treatment. The Empress gave me permission. The advisor turned to the Empress. Majesty, this could be dangerous. The humans' methods are untested. Our ancestors forbade interference with the royal energy. The Empress raised her hand gently. Enough. I allowed him to work, and I feel better than I have in years. Let him continue. The advisor lowered her head reluctantly. As you wish, my Empress. After she left, Aaron sighed softly. Your people do not trust me. They fear what they do not understand, Lyra said. And they have good reason. The bond of our kind is sacred. They think it cannot be touched by outsiders. He looked thoughtful. Sometimes what is sacred becomes trapped in tradition. Healing requires change, she smiled. You speak like one who carries more than science in his heart. Over the next few days, Aaron worked tirelessly. He studied her energy flow, adjusted frequencies, and used both human and Valar technology together. Every session brought small progress. The Empress's strength grew and her color returned. She began walking through her gardens again, greeting her people from the balcony and holding short council meetings. The palace filled with whispers. Some called the human a miracle worker. Others called him a risk to their culture. One evening, while reviewing data, Aaron was approached by a young Valar guard named Rin. The guard spoke quietly. Doctor, there are rumors. Some believe the Empress is giving part of her power to you. They say your life energy glows now. Aaron frowned. That is not true. I only adjusted her energy field. Rin looked uncertain. Be careful. The council fears change more than illness. They would rather lose her than let an outsider interfere. Aaron thanked him for the warning. That night he could not sleep. He looked out at the stars, wondering if he had done the right thing. Yet when he thought of the Empress smiling again, he knew he could not stop. The next morning when he met her, she was standing by the silver pool again. She looked stronger than ever. You look well, he said. She smiled warmly. I dreamt of light, Doctor. In my dream, the stars spoke and told me that my heart had found its balance again. I think your science and my faith have met halfway. He looked at her with quiet respect. Maybe healing is not about one or the other. It is both working together. She nodded slowly. Perhaps you are right. You have given me hope. But hope has power, and power often brings fear. The council will not stay silent for long. Aaron met her gaze. Then I will stand by my work. You asked me to heal you, and I will keep that promise. The Empress's eyes softened. And I will protect you, Doctor. You are more than a healer now. You are part of something greater. As she spoke, the light between them shimmered faintly, unseen by anyone else. A rhythm passed through the air. The same rhythm he had seen in her energy field. It pulsed once, steady and alive. Aaron did not yet understand it, but the connection between them had begun to grow stronger. And deep within the heart of Valar Prime, the ancient energy that governed the royal line stirred once more, awakened by the touch of a human who refused to give up. The days on Valar Prime passed in a quiet rhythm of light and energy. Dr. Aaron had settled into the routine of healing the Empress. Each morning he would enter her chamber, set up his scanners, and adjust the energy flows. Each evening he would record the data, analyze the patterns, and plan the next steps. It was hard work, but progress was visible. The Empress's strength had returned enough for her to walk through the palace gardens, and her aura now shone with steady light. Yet Aaron sensed that her recovery was only part of a deeper mystery, one that went beyond medicine. One afternoon, as the twin suns hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the palace, Aaron noticed a subtle change in the Empress's energy. It was not illness or weakness, but something deeper. A pulse of longing, faint and steady, echoed in her patterns. He frowned, scanning the readings again. Your Majesty, he said softly, there is something I do not understand. Your energy is responding to my treatments, but there is another layer. It is like your body is seeking something beyond healing. The Empress stopped by the silver pool and looked at him. Her reflection shimmered in the water. Doctor, you are perceptive. There is a part of me that has been missing for a long time. I feel it even now, stronger than before. It is the part that belonged to my bondmate. The connection we shared was not only emotion. It was life itself. When he was gone, I lost part of myself. Aaron listened carefully. The stories he had read about the Valar bond now had real meaning. The bond was more than companionship. It was an energy link that joined two lives. Losing it could explain why her body and spirit were weakening. Then your illness is not just physical, he said. It is a loss of balance, a disruption of your life energy. She nodded. Yes, I tried to survive without it, but my body could not fully adapt. The healers tried rituals, medicines, and even energy manipulation. None worked. They said only time could ease the pain. But time has done nothing. I have waited for someone who could restore the balance. Aaron frowned. And you believe I can do that? The Empress met his gaze steadily. I do. Your hands are human and your life is unbound by the ways of the Veiler. That is why I called you. I do not know why, but your energy resonates with mine in a way no other being can match." He felt a mixture of awe and fear. The task she asked was far beyond any human healing he had ever performed. Yet the sincerity in her voice and the steady pulse of her energy made it clear that she trusted him completely. "I will try," he said. "But I need your permission to do something new, something deeper than before." Her eyes shone with quiet hope. "You have my permission. Do what must be done." Aaron spent the next several hours preparing. He combined human medical devices with Velar energy amplifiers. He calibrated the instruments to detect subtle fluctuations in her bond energy. The Empress remained calm, seated near the pool, watching him work. Her presence was serene, yet there was a quiet intensity in her gaze. "Doctor," she said softly, "do you ever fear failure?" "I do," he replied, "but fear can guide us. It makes us cautious, focused, and careful. I will not fail you because I will do everything I can to restore your balance." The Empress nodded. "Then we will face this together." When the instruments were ready, Aran instructed her to place her hand over the pool of silver water. The water shimmered, responding to her presence, and he placed his own hand near hers, careful not to touch directly at first. The energy readings spiked, showing a resonance between their patterns. He adjusted the frequencies slowly, letting the human energy flow complement the velar rhythm. At first, the Empress winced slightly as the energy passed through her. It was not pain, but a strange sensation of long-forgotten connection. She closed her eyes and focused, letting her energy meet his. Aaron guided the flow with steady hands, aware that any abrupt change could destabilize the delicate balance. Hours passed, and the pulse of her energy grew stronger. A soft glow surrounded them, rising from the pool and filling the chamber with light. The crystals reflected the rhythm, vibrating in harmony with their energy. Aaron felt a faint strain, his human body unaccustomed to handling such power. Yet he endured, knowing the Empress's life depended on his control. When the light finally dimmed, the chamber was calm again. The Empress opened her eyes and her face shone with vitality. She lifted her hand from the pool and held it toward him. "Dr. Aaron, I feel whole for the first time in many cycles. Your touch has restored something I feared lost forever." Aaron bowed slightly. "It is not complete yet. Your bond energy is strong, but it will take time to stabilize fully. The process is ongoing," she smiled. "Then we have more work ahead. But I feel hope now, and that is more than I have felt in decades." That evening, as they reviewed the data, Aaron realized something remarkable. The Empress's energy patterns were no longer isolated. They were intertwined with his own. Her pulse responded to subtle changes in his heart rate, and her life force adjusted in rhythm with his own. It was as if their connection had formed a bridge, allowing her to draw strength safely while he guided her recovery. The royal advisor arrived unexpectedly. She studied the readings, her expression unreadable. "Dr. Aaron, this is unprecedented. The energy levels are stabilized beyond what any Velar healer has achieved. Yet you are human. How can you carry this burden?" Aaron looked up calmly. "I am human. I can only act as a guide for her energy. She provides the strength. Without her consent and her focus, nothing I do would work." The advisor remained silent for a moment, then nodded slowly. "The Empress has always seen farther than the council. You may continue. But beware, human. Others may not understand what you are doing. Some may fear it." Aaron acknowledged the warning. He was aware that the palace held both supporters and skeptics. Yet his attention remained on the Empress. She had trusted him completely, and that trust was more important than any political concern. The next day, Aaron found her in the balcony garden, walking slowly among the flowers. Her steps were steady, and her aura glowed with renewed energy. She turned to him with a gentle smile. "You have changed me, Doctor," she said, "but I feel there is still something more. The bond with my lost partner cannot be replaced entirely, can it?" Aaron shook his head. "No, nothing can replace the past, but it can be balanced. You do not need to lose yourself to grief. Your energy can heal, adapt, and continue. That is what we are doing together." She reached out, touching a crystal flower lightly. "You speak as if you understand not just my body, but my soul." "I have studied it," he said softly, "and I feel it. Your pain is clear and your strength is clear. We are simply aligning what has been broken." The Empress looked out toward the horizon where the twin suns were sinking. The stars have always guided my people. Yet I feel that this connection with you is guided by something greater. Perhaps fate, perhaps choice. I cannot say. Aaron glanced at her. Perhaps it does not matter. We act with care and the results will show. That is what healing requires. Over the next few cycles, the connection between them deepened. Aaron began to notice subtle changes in his own perception. He could sense the Empress's moods before she spoke, feel the shifts in her energy patterns, and predict how her rhythm would respond to treatment. At first, he thought it was his imagination, but the readings confirmed it. Their energies were intertwined and the link was growing stronger. The palace began to notice the change as well. Courtiers whispered in hallways about the human doctor and the Empress's recovery. Some were amazed by the speed of her healing. Others were wary of the influence he seemed to have over her. Aaron remained focused. He did not seek attention or power. His only goal was to restore her fully and safely. One night, while reviewing energy maps in the quiet of his chamber, he realized something extraordinary. The Empress's missing bond energy had not vanished. It had waited, lying dormant, ready to respond when the right catalyst appeared. That catalyst was him. He was not only a healer, he was the bridge that allowed her lost energy to return to balance. When he shared this insight with her the next morning, her eyes widened. Then you were meant to come. I did not know why, but I felt your presence even before you arrived. Aaron studied her carefully. It is rare for such alignment to occur. Your energy sought a compatible rhythm, and it found it in mine. That is why the previous healers failed. They could not create the same resonance. She reached out her hand. Then you have not only healed me, Doctor. You have given me what I have waited for. A chance to be complete again. Aaron nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility, but also the quiet wonder of the discovery. Healing was no longer only about medicine. It was about connection, trust, and shared energy. Together they had uncovered the truth beneath the stars. As they worked side by side, the Empress's strength returned fully. The missing pulse in her energy pattern stabilized, glowing steadily in harmony with the human heart guiding it. The palace of Velar Prime had witnessed miracles before, but none like this. A human doctor, small and mortal, had become the key to the survival of an empress and the awakening of her hidden power. The palace of Velar Prime glowed softly under the twin suns, bathing the golden towers in warm light. Dr. Aaron walked through the corridors carrying his instruments and readings. Each step echoed against the smooth floors, but he no longer felt like a stranger in this world. His work with the Empress had grown beyond simple medicine. He had begun to understand the flow of her energy, the patterns of her life force, and the subtle bond that connected them. That morning, he found Empress Leora in the balcony garden, standing among the crystal flowers that shimmered with their own light. Her posture was tall and confident, and her aura pulsed steadily, stronger than it had been in decades. She turned to him and smiled warmly. "Dr. Aaron, are you ready?" He nodded. "Yes, Your Majesty." "Today we will strengthen the bond further. Your energy has stabilized, but we can take another step to ensure it remains balanced." She stepped closer. "I trust you. Whatever you need, I am ready." Aaron set up the devices carefully, connecting a few sensors along her arms and chest. He calibrated the energy amplifiers, ensuring the flow between them would be safe. The Empress observed quietly, her hand resting near the silver pool, the water shimmering softly in response to her presence. "This process is different," he explained. "It will require more than scanning and adjusting. It will require synchronization. Your energy and mine will need to merge briefly, not physically, but in resonance. It may be exhausting at first, but the result will be stronger balance." The Empress nodded. "I am ready, Doctor." He placed his hand near hers, careful not to touch directly at first. The instruments registered their energy fields, and he began to adjust the frequencies. Slowly, the faint pulse between them began to rise. A soft glow surrounded the pool and the flowers, responding to the rhythm of their shared energy. "You may feel warmth," Aaron said gently. "It is normal. The energy is moving through both of us." Leora closed her eyes and her breathing deepened. "I feel it," she said softly. "It is as if something long lost is returning." Hours passed as Aaron maintained focus, guiding the energy carefully. Sweat formed on his forehead, his human body straining under the new connection, but he did not waver. The Empress's pulse strengthened steadily, and her aura expanded, glowing with brilliant light. At times the connection seemed too intense and he adjusted the frequencies to prevent any strain. Finally, he stopped the instruments and observed her. Her chest rose steadily, her eyes bright, and her presence radiated calm energy. She smiled at him. "I feel complete," she said. "Your touch has restored not just my body, but my essence." Aaron bowed slightly. "We are not finished yet, Your Majesty. This bond must stabilize over time, but this step was the most difficult and crucial. You have responded beautifully." She looked at him with quiet admiration. "You have given me life again, Doctor. More than that, you have given me hope. I have waited for this for so long. I did not know how, but I knew someone would come." Aaron paused. He realized that her words were not only gratitude. There was a deeper truth, a recognition that their connection had gone beyond healing. "Majesty, your energy was waiting for a compatible resonance. That is why my presence works. It is rare, almost impossible, but it has happened." Her eyes softened. "Then it was meant to be. Not by chance, Doctor. I feel that even the stars themselves guided you here." The palace began to notice the changes. Courtiers whispered of the human doctor and the Empress's newfound vitality. Some were amazed at the speed of her recovery. Others were wary, fearing a human's influence over their sovereign. Yet Aaron remained focused. His only concern was the Empress's well-being, not the opinions of the court. The advisor approached him one afternoon. Her face was serious. "Doctor, the council grows uneasy. They do not understand the bond you share with the Empress. They fear it could be dangerous. Some suggest limiting your access." Aaron met her gaze firmly. "I am only guiding her energy, not controlling it. She consents to this process. Without her, none of this would be possible. The connection strengthens her, not me." The advisor considered his words. "Your methods are unusual, human, but effective. The Empress trusts you. You may continue. But be careful. Suspicion is growing among the court." He nodded. "I will proceed cautiously." As days passed, the connection deepened further. Aaron began to sense subtle changes in Leora's mood and energy before she spoke. He could anticipate her needs, the patterns in her energy, and how she would respond to adjustments. At first, he doubted his perception, but the instruments confirmed the resonance between them. Their energies were intertwined, and the bond was strengthening with each session. One evening, Leora spoke quietly as they prepared for the ritual. "Doctor, do you ever wonder what this connection means?" "I do," he replied. "It is unusual, even unprecedented. But I see its purpose. It is not just healing. It is restoring balance. Perhaps it is meant to remind us that life is stronger when we are connected." She smiled faintly. "Then you are more than a doctor. You are part of something greater?" He looked at her carefully. "I am only a guide, Majesty. The power is yours. I help you channel it safely." As they began the session, Aaron noticed a subtle hesitation in the Empress's energy. It was not fear, but awareness. She was preparing herself for a deeper resonance. He adjusted the instruments to accommodate this shift. The glow around the pool and the flowers intensified, reflecting the rising energy between them. "Focus on the flow, Majesty," he said gently. "Let your energy move freely. Do not resist it." Leora closed her eyes, her chest rising and falling steadily. The energy flowed between them, strong and vibrant. The crystal surrounding them vibrated in harmony. Aaron felt the strain in his own body, but he endured, aware that this moment was crucial for her complete recovery. Hours later, he released the connection and observed her. She looked radiant, her aura steady and bright. She stood tall, her eyes filled with renewed confidence. "You are well," he said softly. "Your energy is balanced. This bond is now stable." She took a deep breath and smiled warmly. "Thanks to you, Doctor. I have waited for this moment for many cycles. You have restored not just my body, but my strength, my spirit, and my hope." Aaron felt a quiet pride, but also responsibility. The connection must remain steady. "You will need continued care to ensure the balance does not falter." "I understand," she replied, "and I will allow you to be near me. Together we will maintain it." The bond between them now carried more than healing. It was mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Aaron realized that humans, despite their limits, could bring something unique to the galaxy. Compassion, persistence, and courage could bridge the gaps between species. The following days were filled with observation and gentle adjustments. Aaron recorded every shift in energy, and Leora responded with patience and determination. The bond strengthened, not only stabilizing her health but also creating a subtle shared rhythm between them. It was clear that the connection was extraordinary, one that could change perceptions of humanity among the Veiler. One night, while reviewing the data alone, Aaron realized the truth. The Empress's bond energy had waited patiently for a compatible resonance, and that resonance was him. He was not merely a doctor. He was the key to restoring what had been lost for decades. His human touch had awakened something ancient and powerful within her. The next morning he shared this insight with her. Your energy did not just heal because of my methods. It healed because it found a compatible rhythm in mine. That is why the previous attempts failed. No one else could create the resonance. Her eyes widened and she smiled softly. Then you were meant to come. I felt it even before you arrived. I did not know how, but I knew someone would help me. Aaron studied her. It is rare for such alignment to occur. Your energy sought balance and it found it in me. That is why this process works. She reached out and touched his hand gently. Then you have not only healed me, Doctor. You have given me a chance to be complete again. A chance I never thought I would have. Aaron nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility but also a quiet wonder. Healing had become more than science. It was connection, trust, and shared life energy. Together they had discovered the truth beneath the stars and restored a bond thought lost forever. The palace of Veiler Prime had seen miracles before, but none like this. A human doctor had become the bridge that saved an empress and awakened a dormant power that would influence the fate of her people, and perhaps the galaxy itself. The palace of Veiler Prime was alive with quiet anticipation. Dr. Aaron walked through the corridors carrying his instruments, but his mind was focused on more than medicine. The bond with the Empress had grown stronger with every session. Their connection was no longer simply about energy flow or healing. It was a deep resonance of trust, understanding, and shared purpose. Aaron had never imagined that a human could influence a world so far beyond Earth, yet the evidence was clear. He entered the balcony garden where Empress Leora waited. The twin suns were low in the sky, casting a golden glow over the crystal flowers. Her aura radiated calm strength. The air seemed to hum with her life force, steady and vibrant. She smiled at him, her presence warm and welcoming. Dr. Aran, are you ready for today's session? She asked. He nodded. Yes, Your Majesty. Today we will ensure that your bond remains stable and fully integrated. Your energy is strong, but I want to reinforce the connection. Once complete, it will allow you to maintain this strength on your own. The Empress stepped closer. I am ready. Whatever it takes, I trust you completely. Aaron set up the instruments carefully. The sensors tracked the subtle fluctuations in her bond energy. The amplifiers were calibrated to guide the flow safely between them. He placed his hand near hers and the instruments began to register the familiar resonance. The pool of silver water shimmered softly, responding to their shared energy. This session will be intense, he explained. Your energy and mine will synchronize fully. It may feel overwhelming at first, but it is necessary for complete stability. The Empress nodded. I understand. Let us begin. As the session started, the air filled with a gentle hum, their energy fields intertwined, creating a wave of light that spread across the garden. Aaron focused intently, guiding the flow, adjusting the frequencies and monitoring the Empress's responses. He felt the strain in his human body, but he remained steady. Every pulse, every rhythm was vital. Hours passed. The bond between them strengthened. Leora's energy became fully balanced and her aura expanded, glowing brighter than ever. Aaron could sense her life force flowing smoothly, no longer hindered by the loss of her bondmate. The palace itself seemed to respond, the walls resonating softly with the harmony they had created. When Aaron finally released the instruments and stepped back, the Empress stood tall, her face radiant with vitality. She extended her hand toward him. You have done it, Dr. Aaron. My energy is complete, my strength is restored. I feel whole again. Aaron bowed slightly. It is stable now. Your energy flows freely, balanced and strong. The connection is safe and you can maintain it on your own. She smiled warmly. Thanks to you, Doctor. You have not only healed me, but you have given me hope, courage, and life. I cannot fully express my gratitude. Aaron looked at her with quiet humility. You did all the work, Your Majesty. I only guided the flow. Your will and focus made this possible. The Empress's eyes softened. Then you are more than a healer. You are my partner in this bond, and you have my eternal respect. The royal advisor approached, her expression cautious but respectful. Dr. Aaron, the council is amazed. The Empress's health has returned fully, and her energy is more stable than ever. Your methods, though unconventional, have proven successful. Aaron nodded. I am glad the Empress is well. That is my goal, nothing more. The advisor looked thoughtful. There are those who doubted your abilities and questioned your presence. They now see that humans have capabilities they did not understand. Your actions may change the perception of your species across the galaxy. Aaron allowed himself a small smile. He had never sought recognition. Yet the thought that humanity could be valued among the Valar brought quiet satisfaction. If my work can build understanding, then that is a welcome outcome. Over the next few days, the Empress resumed her royal duties fully. She met with her council, walked through the palace gardens, and addressed her people from the balcony. Her aura shone with steady energy, and the citizens could feel her vitality. The court, once skeptical, now treated Iran with respect. Some were still wary, but even the harshest critics could not deny the transformation. One afternoon, Leora invited Iran to walk with her in the gardens. The crystal flowers glimmered softly beneath their feet, responding subtly to their energy. Dr. Aaron, she said, I have thought about what this bond means. You have healed me, yes, but you have also changed how I see life. You remind me that courage and compassion are more powerful than any ancient ritual or sacred law. Aaron listened carefully. Your Majesty, every being has strength. Healing is not just about restoring the body, but also about honoring the will to live. You allowed me to guide your energy, and your choice made all the difference. She smiled softly. I wish your people could see this. Humans are considered fragile, yet you have shown strength, patience, and understanding that even the Valar cannot match. Perhaps it is time the galaxy sees humanity in a new light. Aaron felt a quiet pride. I hope so. Humans have much to offer. We may be small, but we carry hope, resilience, and the will to act when needed. That is our power. Leora's eyes brightened. Then it is not only my health that you have restored. You have strengthened the bond between our species. You have shown that trust and cooperation can bridge even the widest gaps. Days turned into cycles, and the bond between them grew stronger yet stable. Aaron continued to monitor her energy and offer guidance as needed. The Empress thrived, her decisions sharp, her presence radiant. The council recognized the success of their collaboration, and the citizens celebrated the return of their leader. One evening, as the twin suns set and the skies turned gold and violet, the Empress stood beside Aaron on the palace balcony. She looked out over the glowing city, then turned to him with a gentle smile. Dr. Aaron, you have done more than heal me. You have changed the course of my life, the lives of my people, and perhaps the galaxy itself. I want you to know that your work will be remembered for generations. Aaron bowed humbly. I only did what I could. It was your strength, Majesty, that made this possible. Without your focus and trust, none of this would have succeeded. She reached out, placing a hand lightly on his shoulder. You have given me a gift beyond words. I cannot repay you in full, but I promise this. You will always have a place here beside me as my healer, advisor, and friend. Your people will be honored among mine for the courage and compassion you have shown. Aaron felt a warmth in his chest. He had not expected recognition or rewards. His only desire was to heal and to serve. Yet this promise, made by an Empress whose life he had restored, was more than any human could hope for. In the following cycles, the relationship between humans and the Valar changed. Aaron's success demonstrated that humans had unique strengths that went beyond technology or brute power. Other worlds began to see humans differently, recognizing their courage, empathy, and resilience. The story of the human doctor and the Empress spread across the galaxy, inspiring hope and unity. Leora's health remained strong, her bond energy steady. She continued to rule with wisdom, supported by the guidance of Dr. Aaron. Their collaboration became a symbol of what could be achieved when species worked together, respecting differences and sharing knowledge. One quiet evening, Aaron stood in the garden watching the stars appear in the darkening sky. Leora approached and stood beside him, her presence serene. Dr. Aaron, she said softly, do you know why I asked for you, even before you arrived? He shook his head. No, Majesty. I only know that I was here when you needed help. Her eyes reflected the stars. Because I knew that someone with a human heart could restore what was lost. Your courage, patience, and understanding made the impossible possible. You were always meant to be the one who could heal me fully. Aaron looked at her with quiet humility. I only followed your trust and your strength. You gave me the chance to act. That is enough, she smiled. It is more than enough. You have changed my life, Dr. Aaron, and the lives of many others. Humanity will be remembered because of you. As they stood together, the palace glowing softly around them, Aaron realized that this mission had been more than a duty. It had been a journey of understanding, courage, and shared purpose. He had healed an Empress, restored a lost bond, and shown that even a human could make a difference in the vastness of the galaxy. The twin suns set completely, leaving the skies filled with stars. The palace shimmered in quiet harmony, the result of energy, trust, and courage intertwined. Dr. Aaron knew that humanity had earned a place among the stars, not through power or conquest, but through compassion, intelligence, and the willingness to act when it mattered most. Empress Leora turned to him one last time that night. Dr. Aaron, you have my eternal gratitude, and I promise, as long as I reign, your people will be honored. You have proven that humans are capable of greatness beyond what others believe. You have proven that hope and courage can heal not just bodies, but worlds. Aaron nodded, a quiet smile on his face. I will continue to serve, Your Majesty. That is all I need. The stars twinkled above, silent witnesses to the bond they had forged. A human and an alien empress had worked together, showing that courage, compassion, and understanding could bridge the widest distances. And in that moment, the galaxy had seen the true power of humanity.